Welcome to the Water Meditation and Consciousness Experiment series with the Water Peace Project. Together, we are connecting through water for peace. A journey through water and your heart. Water holds all the answers to all our questions. Who are we? Where did we come from? And why are we here? For today's session, we will be reflecting on the words from Dr. Emoto from his book, The True Power of Water, Healing and Discovering Ourselves, Ch2. Let's begin with a powerful clearing with the Ho'oponopono prayer. Please connect with your sincere heart and join in resonance by repeating 3 times. Water, I am sorry. Water, please forgive me. Water, I thank you. Water, I love you. Water, I am sorry. Water, please forgive me. Water, I thank you. Water, I love you. Water, I am sorry. Water, please forgive me. Water, I thank you. Water, I love you. We only have one Mother Water. Please connect with your sincere heart and direct your sincere love and gratitude to all water. Chapter 2. Getting to know water will change your mind and body. Water and Ch2. Water is sensitive to a subtle form of energy called Ch2. It is this form of energy that affects the quality of water and the shape in which the water crystals form. In my previous book, The Hidden Messages in Water, the word Ch2 was translated as wave fluctuation. In this book, I use Ch2 to mean all the subtle energy that exists in the universe. All existing things have vibrations, or Ch2. This energy is often positive or negative and is easily transmitted to other existing things. The thought, "you fool," carries its own Ch2, which the water absorbs and displays as deformed crystals when frozen. On the other hand, when the water has been exposed to positive thoughts, beautiful crystals are formed that reflect a positive halo. Halo, as you can see, is integrally woven into the implications of water's response to information. To further illustrate the concept of halo, let me use the example of a tuning fork. Perhaps when you were in elementary school, you experienced hitting a tuning fork with a rubber hammer and wonder how this worked. Here is a brief review. Say we have 3 tuning forks. Forks 1 and 2 have a frequency of 440 Hz, and fork 3 of 442 Hz. In other words, forks 1 and 2 are designed to vibrate 440 times per second, while fork 3 vibrates 442 times per second. If you hit fork 1 with a rubber hammer, fork 2, which has the same frequency, will immediately give off a sound, but fork 3 won't. Fork 2 resonates with the vibration of fork 1, but fork 3 does not. Also, forks 1 and 2 have the frequency of 440 Hz, which means that the sound they give off is La in C major, or A above middle C. If you produce the sounds Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, and Ti, forks 1 and 2 will not resonate. They only vibrate to precisely the sound of La. This explanation should give you the idea that halo is energy. When 2 things have the same frequency, they resonate with each other. It is easy to understand, then, that as humans, we can freely produce our own halo, and then other things with similar halo will resonate with us. Conversely, we can also resonate with the halo that comes from other items. Each item has its intrinsic vibration. The term items here means everything from molecules that make up materials to atoms that make up molecules and subatomic particles that make up atoms. In other words, each subatomic particle has an intrinsic vibration. Our mind and body are affected by this depending on what intrinsic vibration we resonate with. In human relations, we often say that we are or are not on the same wavelength with someone. This is also related to vibration and resonance. In a workplace, you might come across a situation like this. An employee thinks I know my boss is a nice person, but we are not on the same wavelength. I find it difficult to deal with him. By the same token, the boss may be feeling he is working hard, but I don't like what he does. The boss and the employee are clearly on different wavelengths. No matter how hard they force themselves to work together, their efforts may be wasted. However, if they turn their efforts to tuning in to each other's hado, thinking things from the other person's perspective, they will be able to understand each other. A typical example of hado at work in human relations is that of a man and a woman who meet and fall in love. When they meet, their hados coincide and resonance occurs. As long as their hado is not affected by external factors such as an affair, the relationship will last long. On the other hand, if the hado of one person is disturbed, their speech, behavior, habits, and so on, which were once acceptable, may suddenly become intolerable to the other person, and the relationship may come to an end. That is why hado at the level of subatomic particles affects us. Hado medicine. Some time ago, I was introduced to a type of radionics device capable of measuring various vibrations of the body at a cellular level. I developed an affinity for the device and became able to use it beyond the device's intended design, namely to measure hado. My experience with the hado device led me to realize water's ability to receive information. It also led the way to my study of hado medicine, an alternative medical practice that researchers started to study after having felt the limitations of conventional Western medicine. Although having a device was helpful in my study of hado medicine, I came to believe that humans are capable of feeling and sending hado as well as the device can measure it, if not better. For example, healers and counselors who can help their patients are considered to have the ability to send good vibrations to correct their patients' abnormal vibrational patterns. The fundamental principles of hado medicine are vibration and resonance. When the cellular vibrations in different parts of the body are disturbed due to various reasons, our body can make a wrong turn. When this situation occurs, a new external vibration can be given to the disturbed cell so as to resonate with it. Thus, its intrinsic vibration is restored. This is hado medicine in a nutshell. How can the vibration be corrected? A Hado is a wave. It has a wave shape of peaks and valleys. When the shape of a wave opposite to the original one, valleys for peaks and peaks for valleys, is used, the wave can be straightened. By overlaying a wave with another wave in this manner, its characteristics can be canceled. Let me illustrate with a sound wave, an easy to understand example of a kind of Hado. A sound wave also has peaks and valleys. When the sound wave of opposite shape is used, the original sound wave is canceled and the sound disappears. That can't be true, you might think. But there are scientists doing research in creating a quiet environment who are using this attribute. On April 10, 1991, the evening newspaper Yomiuri had an interesting article with this title: "Using a sound silences a noise. Using an opposite wave cancels the noise." It reported the results derived from research putting Hado principles into practice. This article states as follows: Dr. Yoshio Yamakasuki, Science and Engineering Laboratory of Waseda University, succeeded in his experiment to create a quiet, soundless space in a room filled with music. This is a new silencing method using canceling sound that counteracts noise. It is expected to be useful to apply to karaoke bars and offices. It may be possible to create quiet space near a telephone in an office. Be it music or human voice, each has an intrinsic wave. The basic principle of this new silencing method is to examine the wave shape of peaks and valleys of the sound to be silenced and produce a sound that has the opposite wave shape of peaks and valleys. The experiment was conducted in a room of 7 tatami mats, 126 square feet. They analyzed the wave shape of music from one speaker and created the opposite wave shape to the original sound through 2 other speakers to study the silencing effect. The result was that sound disappeared completely at the targeted spot. At the site a couple inches away from the targeted spot, the major components of male voices and music sounds, which are lower than several hundred hertz, were also cut. By increasing the number of silencing speakers, it is expected to be able to expand the soundless area. These results were presented at the International Symposium on Active Control of Sound and Vibration, which began April 9, 1991 in Tokyo. Dr. Yamasaki commented, "This is a method to use sounds to silence sounds. When you make a telephone call, it is significant to silence only a limited area. I think that this method can be applied to many other situations. It is my understanding that this method has also been applied to silence the engine noise of automobiles and reduce the noise from trains and factories. This principle of canceling the characteristics of the original wave by overlaying an opposite wave shape is not limited to sound waves. It is applicable to all Hado. Hado medicine utilizes this concept to restore the patient's health by sending the Hado that can cancel his or her unfavorable Hado. Water is an integral component, as you'll see. Through my lectures and writing, I am actively promoting the concept of Hado. However, as I am currently too busy writing and speaking to conduct Hado testing, I have not been personally involved in measuring people's Hado using the Hado instruments and helping them restore their health. I now have 20 practitioners, formerly my students, who provide the services throughout Japan. To help a person treat him or herself with Hado medicine, we examine the individual's Hado using the Hado measuring device. After understanding the disturbances to his or her own vibration, we prepare the water on which the information to correct the vibration was transferred through the Hado measuring device. The Hado water created in this manner penetrates into the molecules, atoms, and subatomic particles that make up the person's body and stops the disturbances of this vibration. By drinking this Hado water, the individual could correct the disturbed vibration. I have used the instrument to measure thousands of people's Hado. This is where we will end the reading for today, The True Power of Water, Healing and Discovering Yourself, Hado, written by Dr. Emoto. To learn more about the Water Peace Project's Live Consciousness Experiment and other events, please visit waterpeaceproject.org. Love and gratitude for your participation. Let us end today's session with the Grand Invocation in Japanese from Dr. Emoto, recorded in July of 2011. The Grand Invocation, meaning in English, the eternal power of the universe has gathered itself to create a world of true and grand harmony.